You're watching the Roblox Battlebot Championship Series final bracket on the ZuggyJ YouTube channel, where today we have a rematch between Rise of Rome and Cosmic Crab. As we take a look at the bot profile brought to you by the Playing Crazy Tech Challenge, it's an ASIM horizontal going up against a double undercutter. It's going to be a fun, flingy matchup here today, and the drivers make it even more fun as you have SpongeBob taking on Liquefied. One of the best to ever do it in Build a Boat versus the best to ever do it in Playing Crazy. Of course, player profile brought to you by the PCBC. As we get underway, referee counts us in, and here is the box rush presented by the YouTube subscribe button. Now coming into today's matchup, this is final bracket, so winner moves on, loser goes home, and in the first time these guys matched up in the group stage, Rise of Rome played really aggressive, maybe too aggressive, got himself swept, gave a little bit of a fight, did better than I think a lot of people thought he was going to do. But today, I think everybody recognizes that those improvements to Rise of Rome are going to make a big difference because 43% of brackets have him moving on to the next round, which I think if you would have done that poll in the first round, I think it would have been a lot less. And we're off to a start here where Cosmic Crab trying to get those control points, got a shot on the backside of Rise of Rome, and Liquefied is one of those drivers that he kind of knows when to be aggressive and when to dial it back, and in any situation he's probably going to do the right thing, but he can't show those wheels here today, as that is the biggest weakness of Cosmic Crab, is that the wheels are somewhat exposed, and that weapon took a big shot there. So far, early on, it's looking like Rise of Rome can hold up, as it did take a lot of wheel and weapon damage in their first matchup as they clip inside of each other here. Playing Crazy moment. Who came out victorious? It looks like Rise of Rome, as a lot of parts are flying off of Cosmic Crab. And I don't know about that weapon, as one of the wheels goes off. That was a big shot. No wheels left on the left side of the BattleBot. Rise of Rome off to a fast start here in Game 1 as he has the early advantage, taking off an entire side of wheels, and that is something we have not seen on Cosmic Crab yet in this season of RBCS. Those wheels are usually really hard to take off because Liquefied's such a good driver, but he is struggling now, reduced to crab walking on a crab-based BattleBot. And I talked a little bit about it earlier, but the aggression that SpongeBob showed in that first matchup as a driver is something you can do when it's your first matchup. You want to go out there, you want to be aggressive, and sometimes it works against lesser drivers, but Liquefied's going to eat that up, and you're seeing he's playing a lot smarter in this one, looking for opportunities, not going weapon to weapon, and not being as brash, because I think he realized that, like, hey, I know who I'm going up against here, and I know what I need to do to prepare, and he got a lot of practice against other double undercutters before this fight. Coming into it so far, it seems like he's handling himself well, as he probably is going to win Game 1 if he can just get to the bell. He's been aggressive, he's had control, and his weapon has been ultra effective taking off those wheels, and more of them just seem to keep flying off. I don't know where he keeps finding these wheels, because it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of them left, but man, he keeps destroying it. As we near 10 seconds remaining in Game 1, Rise of Rome looking dominant, SpongeBob driving great, and Liquefied is going to have to go back to the drawing board here after Game 1. We're heading to a judge's decision, and man, I think Rise of Rome is going to win all the categories in this one.
After a judge's decision in Game 1, the winner is Rise of Rome.
Yeah, no surprise there. We'll look at the score. 4-1 on weapon effectiveness. Cosmic Crab cannot be doing that, but we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back with game number 2. Well, the bots are ready for game number 2. A bit of a shocker in Game 1. I kind of figured this series would be a little bit closer than the last time, and once again, the community did as well. We saw the vote earlier. But what is shocking is that Liquefied kind of got outdriven, and when you have 74 games of experience in your career when the other person only has 17, you kind of need to be the better driver. That just, your career has been awesome. Runner-up last year, a champion the year before. Liquefied has all the tools to be good, but right now getting outdriven by a rookie in his first RBCS, he's going to have to make adjustments, as he gets thrown against the wall. And Rise of Rome as a BattleBot just doing such a good job as there goes part of the undercutter off of Cosmic Crab. And Liquefied better hope that part didn't have the cutters on it, as that weapon could be rendered useless. And I don't love his strategy for this one, going with an angled undercutter where the weapon kind of overlaps. I think the original Cosmic Crab did a great job in Group B action as it took down November Rain and, of course, Rise of Rome in that first matchup. Spin attack here from Liquefied. Great move there. There's some of that driving experience coming in, but not able to capitalize on that. And now that other undercutter is just destroyed off the bot. Nothing left on the right side. Gonna have to hope that that left one holds up all the way to the buzzer here in this one as wheels go flying. And I think those are off of Cosmic Crab. Yes, they are. So he's going to try to get some control points in the corner here, but he's going to have to figure something out as those wheels keep getting destroyed and they can't modify between rounds. So I don't know, man. It's not looking good for him right now. SpongeBob's driving really, really well on the other side, and we're halfway done with this fight, and I have to give him all the categories again. He's been controlling, he's been aggressive, and the weapon is just doing awesome damage. And those arena hazards this year, they do damage now, something that Liquefied may not be used to. And his wheels not being custom wheels, well, every time you hit a cutter, those cylinders are going to break, they're going to separate, and that's something he's probably not getting used to as he goes up against the arena hazard again, gets flung in the air, opportunity to get to the backside here for Rise of Rome, with that weapon having issues firing, and I don't think that it's a weapon issue. I think it might have been a driver issue. Might have misclicked and turned off the weapon, something you can't do when you get opportunities against Liquefied. But it looks like Cosmic Crab is back to crab walking as the wheels on the right side not touching the ground. Oh, wait, I think part of the weapon is stuck. Part of the weapon has been sheared off and jammed into Cosmic Crab, so you can kind of see it on the backside. He is stuck on top of his own weapon as we have 30 seconds remaining. That's going to hurt the control points. I just don't think at this point in the match we're going to see a knockout, but still a big shot as pieces of the weapon go flying everywhere off of Cosmic Crab. Not a lot of weapon left, and Rise of Rome continuing to be dominant with 10 seconds left.
9,
Referee's going to start counting us down.
7,
Can somebody do something
6,
before the buzzer?
5,
We're going to see here with 4 seconds left.
3,
Big shot. Rise of Rome
2,
goes flying,
1.
but there's the buzzer, and we are going to a judge's decision in game number 2. What a fight that was.
The winner of Game 2 by judge's decision is Rise of Rome.
And that was to be expected. This time, only getting the 3 in the weapon effectiveness category, which, you know, it was kind of on the borderline of being a 4. There was some extra damage we didn't see, but he wins Game 2. We're going to take another break, and we'll be right back. And we are back in Game 3 here. It's a best
3,
of 5 series,
2,
so Liquefied
1.
needs to be on his best here if he wants to extend this series and keep his tournament hopes alive. And in his career, he has had a flair for the dramatic. He's had multiple reverse sweeps, and of course last year, losing to Indigo in the main bracket, goes through losers and then completely dominating him in the rematch. He's the type of guy you can never really say for sure if he's down and out because he just has the skills, but right now the bot not holding up. I wouldn't say he's driven horribly, he's definitely been outdriven, but the bot not holding up like his other bots, Primal Crown and Bit have in the past, and that's something that, hey, I would say you got to work on, but if he loses today, he's not going to have to work on it anymore, so he'll be out of the tournament as his wheels are going flying, and some of the structural pieces of the bot have been knocked off. And what was that? Just drives himself into the wall. I don't know if maybe he's lagging, but that was not something you'd think Liquefied would do in the middle of a fight, driving into more arena hazards. As there go more wheels. Rise of Rome, that weapon, that ASIM spinner, while it doesn't have the most coverage as other horizontals because it only has one side of the weapon, it is doing great damage, and it doesn't seem to be hurting him at all, as the damage has been so good so far in this series. And you can see Liquefied in this one. He is playing a lot more passive, doing a technique and playing crazy called evasion hitting, where he's driving backwards to get Rise of Rome to run into the ghost of the BattleBot and getting himself flung. He's trying to do it a lot here, trying to rack up those control points, and it's probably going to work with the judges, but man, you got to be aggressive, and those aggression points, you win control. Oh, there's a big shot to the back of the bot, almost splits him in half. And Cosmic Crab actually doing damage for the first time in this series. Now gets him on top of the weapons, throws him into the wall, and that was a really nice exchange for Cosmic Crab as he gets control, gets a bit of damage, and that could be a turning point in this series. But we'll see. SpongeBob not one who's going to shy away or get intimidated. He's a confident man, and he's going to drive confidently, but right now stuck on top of the arena hazards, trying to self-right, and Liquefied gets to the backside and gets a piece of that wheel. Cosmic Crab, yeah, it's struggling, but it's still a good BattleBot. I definitely think it would be a lot of bots in this tournament in its current state, but I think part of that undercutter has been hit on the right side, and I think half of it is, half of it's missing. Nice shot. Rise of Rome answers, and as long as Cosmic Crab can hold up to the end of this one, it's going to be a really close judge's decision because aggression has to go to Rise of Rome, but that control, Cosmic Crab just been so controlling in this one. Liquefied driving the best we've seen out of any of the games. As we have 13 seconds remaining, we'll probably go into a judge's decision. What's it going to be? Is it going to be a sweep, or are we getting a game 4? And is this how Liquefied is going to end his career? We're going to find out in a few seconds. It is a judge's decision in game 3. Man, this is going to be interesting.
After a judge's decision in Game 3, the winner of this game by one single point is Rise of Rome.
Oh my God, he did it! Absolute upset, complete stunner, 8-7, wins the weapon effectiveness 3-2. I think it's deserved. What a performance from SpongeBob in this one. It is hard to beat Liquefied. It's extra hard to sweep him. And that was definitely one of the better driving performances I've ever seen. As we take a look at the bracket powered by Challonge and the Cardboard Bug. Rise of Rome, moving on to round 2. Gonna face Dawnbreak, has some beef with them. And here are the team standings. Daywatcher Enterprises, they are completely eliminated from RBCS. We're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we'll have an interview with SpongeBob. We are now joined by SpongeBob after that, outstanding match. You drove your butt off. You were able to sweep one of the greatest drivers of all time in RBCS. Big question to you, man, is how were you able to adjust from the first fight where, you got swept by by Cosmic Crab? How were you able to make those adjustments and come out victorious here today?
I just listened to Wattler. We made all the improvements to my bot an hour before the fight. Also, I think that he was using a way worse config. I think if he used the config that he used for our first fight, he probably would have won.
Well, in those fights, man, you were able to drive a lot better and counter what he was doing. You said you made some adjustments to the bot, but from the driving side of things, what adjustments did you make for this one?
Not as aggressive. I was still going at him, so I wouldn't lose the points, but I was going slower, so my weapon had more time to come around because it's asymmetrical. So I have to drive a little slower so they don't hit the back of it and then snipe the ballast box.
All right, well, the question on everyone's mind, look, last video, last fight, Dawnbreak calling you out, saying that if he gets to face you this round, that it's going to be an easy matchup for him. What do you have to say to that, and what do you think of that matchup for you?
I would just say look at the clip, because I destroyed him in a fight that we did. So I don't know what he was really talking about. So we'll just have to see what happens.
All right. Anything else you want to add before we finish up here today?
Rome wasn't built in a day.
All right. Thank you for your time. Well, that's all in this one. Rise of Rome, a 3-0 sweep over Cosmic Crab. Definitely did not have that on my bingo card coming into this season of RBCS, but it was a fun one. Some great driving on display, and I think that's all we have for you guys here today. So thank you to our sponsors, and have a great rest of your day. See ya!